Here, I'm just going to...
Excellent. Well, just want to welcome everyone to a bit of a blabathon that we're doing for the SM Mastery, little sneak peek into the conference and their experts. We're doing about short 20-30 minute interviews and show you a little bit more about what you're going to be seeing on stage at the SM Mastery Conference, June 4th, 2016. So only a couple of weeks away. It is in its second year, and you know what that means. It was good enough the first year to do it again, right? So, also as social media experts, the founder, the experts, coordinators are used to the constant change of social media. So it doesn't look the same as it did last year. So that's kind of the really cool thing about, a conference like this is it's new information just based on the technology and based on the platforms itself. So basically for the next 15, 16 days, we're going to be talking to our experts and giving a little bit more insight as to who they are and what they're going to be teaching you. Not only that, but these experts are going to present at the event for a good part of the day. So what an opportunity to kind of rub elbows with these fine individuals. We have one of those individuals with us today, Mr. Dai Manuel. Welcome, Dai.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, that's a perfect intro because I'm just looking at saying you're joining us and you're going to be the after party. So hey, yip, it's after party. Yeah. So that's a perfect response for that. So you're going to be at the event on June 4th, and yes. You're going to be kind of joining us after the main conference itself, right?
Correct. Yeah, that's right. Ricky's asked me to speak at the actual, wrap-up party post-conference, and largely due to the fact that, a lot of strategy is going to be covered throughout the conference itself, and you have lots of different experts speaking on different subjects as it pertains to leveraging social media for your business or your personal life, whatever your endeavors are online, and it will just help you be more effective at that. Now, of course, we all think, especially the businesses and entrepreneurs that are coming to the Mastery Conference, they're often want to know, well, where's the ROI? You put all this strategy into play, you put all this great information into play as it relates to your brand or online persona, and then what? What does that mean? How does that translate into real life dollars and cents? And ultimately, can you sustain a business with that? And so I will be sort of sharing a bit of my story, as well as how I've leveraged a lot of the strategies that we've been taught throughout the conference, and show you how I've implemented that into my own platform, and how I leverage social media to help me expand my personal business and connect and network with others.
Perfect. I think that's what I really like about the conference format, right? Is it seems like there's a little bit of something for everyone, and the fact that they've recognized that the day might be that I believe it's a 5-step strategy is going to be sort of presented, that they haven't left out the monetization.
Correct.
Right. That's you do need those 5 sort of fundamental or foundational steps, but there's also the monetization for those that want that, right? Because some people are probably going to show up just for their own personal brand, or even just to get a better understanding. I know offline we were kind of joking about Snapchat and wondering, what that was about, because it wasn't around, and a lot of technologies weren't, but it wasn't around. And so, what does that mean for you? How do you want to use it? Right? It might be just a way to show other people kind of what your day looks like. Like we talked about yourself, where it's you. Like it truly is you, right? And watching you live day to day, which is very cool.
Raw and real, man. Raw and real.
Yeah.
Christy always loves to point out, and I love that aspect of Snapchat for sure. And that's how I've lived through social media as well. That my personal belief is that I rather show than tell. I think there's a lot of people out there that find it very easy to tell people what to do or how to do things. I'd rather just show to my own actions. Take more of an active role model approach to what I do online. So it also makes things a lot easier because I don't have to think about it. I'm just doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I've thought about that a lot for presentations, right? If you can get up and just talk about stuff that's just so natural to you, it's so much better. So were you at the conference last year, Dai?
No, unfortunately, I was out of town when the conference happened last year, so I missed it.
Yes, that's right. World traveler. That's right. I forgot about that part. Well, that's cool. We're lucky to have you. Lucky to have you this year. Who do you say should come to the event?
Well, I think it's anybody, whether they're a startup, entrepreneur, just venturing down the path of getting into their own business, or they may be someone that's in a profession that could learn how to leverage social media to help build their profession or business or market themselves more effectively, because it's really going to appeal to all sorts of different people. Because in any sort of fashion, most people are out there with a career that will require some marketing on some level. And if that's the case, this is probably the best value I've seen in a conference, especially in a one-day format, where you get a bit of everything, and plus you get, if you were to add up how much it would cost each of these experts to hire them for 1 hour, dude, it'd be ridiculous. It'd be an $8,000 to $10,000 investment to get 1 hour of each speaker's time. So it's pretty amazing when you look at it from that perspective. And there's a lot of discount codes out there. You can get a ticket for $97 for a full day plus the wrap-up party. It just makes a lot of sense. You'll get at least one solid piece of information you can apply to your own personal social media strategy from each speaker. I guarantee it. And you take those away and you actually apply those consistently over the next 3 to 6 months, you'll see your business improve. I guarantee it. You would have to just completely do nothing with what you learn to not gain any benefit from it. So it's definitely worthwhile endeavor. But at the end of the day, if you're not going to play, then don't bother going.
I know for Dai monetizing Manuel that definitely looking at the ROI, but even for those that just go, even if they weren't to apply it from a monetary, did I gain something back? The amount of time that you would need to invest in yourself to learn all the different things that are going to be taught. Again, even without the speakers component would be massive. And I know you kind of jumped saying that the $97. That's with our special code that we're going to give at the end of this with our promo code of Blab, and we're going to put in there. It gets you the $97 ticket instead of the $197. So awesome that you've mentioned that piece already. So for those that don't, and again, it always amazes me to think that there might be someone who doesn't. Tell us a little bit about you.
Oh,
for
man.
those that don't know you, those that actually don't know you.
Well, I'm first and foremost a dad. I got 2 kids. One's preteen, one's a teen now. And I'm a husband to my best friend, Christy. And Christy for a long time. I always like to say I'm dating my wife. And on top of that, I've been in the fitness industry for about 20 years. And in lots of different fashions, I've earned an income in the fitness industry, from trainer, coach, to right along through to fitness equipment store retailer, and being a partner in an operating chain of stores here in Western Canada. So I've been on all levels within the industry, and then most recently, this past July, I left my career of 18 years to pursue some other passions, some of which include speaking, also a lot more coaching and mentorship of various programs that I offer. And then on top of that, I also have a very active social media platform, and I work with a lot of different brands to get certain messages out there, brands, companies, services, organizations that are looking to gain access to a fairly large and engaged audience. That's when they come to me. And mine are very specifically, I play within the health, fitness, and lifestyle realm. So anything that brings your health and happiness to another level, I can help with that. And wrote a book, which was released this past January. You can get them chapters, Indigo in Canada, Barnes & Noble in the US, as well as Amazon globally. So lots of little pieces moving around, but it's all part of one big overall brand. And so that's a snapshot of who I am. But I've been online since 2007.
Yeah, no, and again, I think that's the difference for people that are going to be in that room, right? I mean, there's some what I refer to as like OGs, right? The original gangsters of social media and that sort of thing, and the room is going to be full of them, between the ones that are speaking and I know just based on who's looking to attend as well, that they're going to be, in the room as well. And that's such a phenomenal opportunity. We interviewed Ricky yesterday, and he gave us a little sneak peek into the experience that people are going to be having. So it's more than just getting there and learning and draining your brain and that sort of thing. It's going to be an experience. And I think what I liked about hearing that was, so much time, we talk about almost disconnection because of, social media and that type of thing. And it's an opportunity to actually be in a room with people that use it and make a living off of it and truly do connect worldwide, right? I mean, I know your following is not just local, you're worldwide, which is awesome.
It's pretty cool. Who would have thought that?
I know. Well, you've kind of answered it a little bit. I was going to say what level is it that you're speaking to as far as entry, intermediate, like those that might be a little bit intimidated? You're going to be addressing things that is going to be easy enough for them to kind of start with, or are you kind of leaning towards more of you got to have a base in there first?
I'm going to basically go from where I started to where I am now, and even then I am not. I consider myself only halfway there. Okay, because there's certain realms in the monetization world, at least as it relates to online monetization opportunities, that I haven't tapped into, at least not fully yet. So I will be speaking more at that novice to intermediate level, which I think is where most people are at that will be attending this conference. They're going to be looking to bring it to that next level. And so I'm going to share some of the strategies that I used as I was building my brand and my online platform. And it wasn't until a few years ago, literally 2.5 years ago, I guess, that I really started to focus on monetization component. I had built a brand, built a platform, and then later actually started to monetize it when I had some friends, and actually one of which will be speaking at this conference. When they saw some of my numbers, they're like, "You're crazy if you're not monetizing it," because it's not a matter of size of audience, right? It's the quality of that audience and their engagement. So I'd much rather have 100 fully engaged people than having 10,000 where I only had 10 people engaged. So to me, it's much more impressive to see a smaller but an engaged audience. I'll be talking a bit about that and really the idea of being an authority in your niche. And I think that's what a lot of people forget about, is they start to generalize themselves way too much or spread themselves too thin. Where if you really focus on one area of expertise, that you can be the dominant player or the go-to top 3 people in that area, you will find that things just go very well for you when you start down that monetization path.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. I know that on Facebook the other day in one of my coaching groups, that there was a picture put up about making $1 million, right? And there was there's like a million ways to make $1 million, but it basically just kind of showed like, hey, you can have 500 people paying X number of dollars, like, and so on and so forth, or you could sell a big ticket item and have less people that are doing that. And it was just like, it was amazing to see it like in one picture, to kind of go, okay, so who are you? Right? Yes. Like somebody has a massive audience, you can charge like just, $25 or whatever the case may be on a monthly reoccurring sort of cost. Or is it something where you have, like you said, more niche kind of market at 100, but it's a high ticket item, and that in itself is going to be like, like you think about it, like people that are paying $10,000, people that pay $10,000 for coaching, right? Yeah. It's like, how many of those do you need, right, to make some decent dollars? Not a whole lot, right? Like, and if you did have whatever the math would be there, I guess 100 then there you go, right? So it's great that you bring up that point, because I think people get intimidated, like, oh, I only have 200 people that I following me, or whatever the case may be. But depending on how you got those people, right? If there's that similar interest, if there is that engagement, I often talk about not that I'm on the panel at this point, but I talk about it almost like the same as like in a bar, right, where people connect. And then it would be like running around and just getting phone numbers, but like never phoning anyone. Like you just run around and just like, hey, can I get your number? Yeah, got it. And then then you never talk again, right? Like it would make no sense. Versus you take some time. I was at a networking event on Monday, and take some time, and it was like, yeah, I probably talked to people for 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So am I going to meet the whole room? No, I'm not. But those people are going to know kind of who I am and what I'm about. So definitely awesome to hear that, you'll help people regardless of what their following is. And, there's others that are in the conference that are going to be speaking about, increasing the following as well, right? So.
Yeah, that'll be some of the strategy that they talk about. And I think it's fantastic. And, I always find that if you're in a niche and you're really focused on developing good relationships, you'll just grow organically anyways, and that's, at least that's what's personally happened with me since 2007. It's month after month, it continues to grow, and I haven't really changed anything. I'm pretty much doing the same things I always did. It's just now I'm doing it full time versus before it was a part-time hobby, and then it went to full-time career. But 3 years ago, I think the biggest difference was I started treating it like a business.
Yeah,
and
I think the piece for you guys where you say you haven't changed anything, but one thing that you didn't change that you were doing that was working was consistency.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So not changing that has been perfect. That's where some people, kind of fall off. They're heavy, and then now they're vanished, and people are like, hey, what happened? I was going through withdrawal from that, right? And then guess what happened? There's that gap, and they go to fill the gap, and they go follow someone else or find somebody else that will help them, right? Yeah, awesome. And what about demographic? I know that, we were talking earlier about Snapchat and, just finding a 15-year-old to give you a 5 or 10 minute training. You think this is for the gamut? Right from teens. I know Ricky in our interview yesterday, he was really talking about wanting to help the next generation and teens, and for them to understand social media a little bit better to help protect themselves as well. But also, kind of going from what gamut of demographic are you looking to speak to? Or do you think that you can speak to everybody?
Well, I always believe that you can't connect with everyone. There's going to be people that just won't hear your message, right? And then there will be some that do, and then there'll be a whole pile that will be interested. But you have to convince them, and that seems to be the majority, right? So if we're talking about certain demographics, like who's going to get what from this conference, well, I think anybody that has got even a spark of entrepreneurial spirit in them, it will be ignited after this one-day conference. And then also, if there's people that have an existing business that want to reignite their passion for their business, they're definitely going to get some value from it as well. As far as specific demographics, I think there's going to be a full spectrum of ages present, because what they're talking about on the business aspects and the strategy aspects is universal. It doesn't matter how old you are. It's going to play into whatever platform you're looking to build. And the idea isn't about being on every platform. It's about being on the right platforms, right? So if Facebook makes sense for the demographic and the business model that you have, then be on Facebook. If Twitter still makes sense, be on Twitter. YouTube makes sense, be on YouTube. And then you complement those and use them to amplify one another if it makes sense. But I think a lot of people, when they rush in, as we mentioned earlier about consistency, you all of a sudden blow up. You go on every channel, you go really, really wide, but you don't do anything really well. So even the people that I coach, I'm like, let's figure out who your avatar is. Let's figure out who is that key demographic you're trying to connect with. Let's personify that to the level where you can give them a first name and picture them in your head. Now, when you write copy or create messages on your social platforms, you're writing it to them. And then those that are most like those individuals, when they read it, they're like, wow, you're writing it to me. And there's an instant bond, right? It's like, wow, they really get what I'm about. And when you create that bond, then great, you're doing something well. But figure out where they are. If you're looking to connect to the younger demographic, Snapchat is where it's at. Holy crow, it's crazy. There's definitely a much younger audience on that. But in the last 3 months, I've seen a lot of the OGs get on board because they know they want to tap into this up and coming demographic. And they got to be relevant. And how do you be relevant? Well, you got to be where they are. Yeah. So, hence Snapchat. It's funny. I created my Snapchat account I don't know, 3 years ago, when it first came out, but I never used it because I couldn't figure out what was it all about, But in the last 6 weeks of being consistent with it every day, you know, doing anywhere from a half dozen to some cases 24 snaps in a day, I've really started to develop quite a fun relationship with a bunch of people, and it's really interesting. So it's definitely something I'm enjoying right now, a lot more so than I am some of my older, more established platforms like Twitter, especially. You know, I love Twitter. I've been on there. I'm an early adopter, but I've seen the engagement dwindle year after year after year. Why? Because not as many people are on the platform, and it's a very noisy platform, right? Yeah. So anyways, back to your question. There's going to be lots of different demographics service, but you'll find something for you and who you're trying to serve at this conference for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, no, and like I said earlier, I'm enjoying your Snapchat too, so I'm glad you're enjoying it. Because that means you're going to continue to do it, then I get to continue to watch it. So that's awesome for me. I'm going to wrap up with a personal question. I know the answer, but some don't, and I think it's just a little bit of something so people have an understanding of who's up on stage. I'm going to say kids, pets, both or neither. So do you have kids? Do you have a pet? Do you have both, or do you have neither?
I have both.
Yeah, I know the answer. So you mentioned the 2 girls, but you hadn't mentioned.
Yes. Okay. I am now
the recent acquisition.
I'm a pet. I was going to say I'm a pet person. I've always been a pet person, but I'm officially a pet owner now. And my daughters, just so everybody knows, I have a 13-year-old. My oldest now just recently turned 13. My youngest is 11, so I've got a preteen as well as a teen. And we just added a teddy bear Yorkie to the mix. Yes. And if you want to know what that is, you can go to my Snaps or Instagram, and you can see I've put up some photos today. Especially on Instagram today, I posted a really cute photo of him. His name's Spencer, and he's 3 months old. And the dude is so cute. And he looks like a little Ewok.
Ewok. That's what I was going to say. A little Ewok.
And I was joking on Snapchat. I'm a fairly big dude. I'm 6'1", 210 pounds. And when I'm carrying Spencer in my arms, it's like a little fur ball. And I get some funny looks, right? But I'm always joking with people. I'm like, yeah, he's 3 pounds now, but just wait. He's going to be huge. He's going to get all swole. He'll be 6 pounds. So it's a lot of fun.
You get him doing the wads, right? Get him doing the wads. Build him up a little
He's
bit,
a quick little dude, though. For a guy with little teeny legs, man, he can motor, man. It's pretty cool.
He's there to help your agility, man. He's there to help your agility.
Yeah, but it's been fun. It's been fun.
Keep on your toes. Well, that's awesome. I appreciate you coming on today, and we just want to get an idea of who's Dai and what are you going to be talking about, and looking forward to everyone having a chance to see you on June 4th, which is, again, it's only 15, 16 days away right now. So everyone, just so you know, I've put in, we're going to be broadcasting all the blabs. We actually created a channel, so I've put the link up top. I think I can do this, but you'll have to see. But blab.mastery.com is the link, so you'll see any of them with all our speakers for the next 16 days. Also, if you go to smmastery.com and enter promo code BLAB, you're going to get $100 off your ticket, which means that it's only a $97 ticket. Dai mentioned it a little bit earlier, is the fact that if you were to pay the people that are going to be on stage, it's going to be well over $10,000 to get even a glimpse of their time. So it's a massive, massive deal for those that want to, gain anything, whether it's strategy. We're talking to the monetization man right now, but there's increasing your following. There's going to also be engagement, and basically everything that you need, regardless of whether it's your personal brand, whether you're entrepreneur, whether you're managing someone. If you understand what your team is doing, you can have way better conversations than I don't know, you guys figure it out kind of thing, right? At least you're going to have an understanding of what these platforms are all about. So thank you again, Dai, for your time. I look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks' time. And everybody, you got to stick around for the after party, because that's where he's at. Stick around for the after party.
It'll be fun. Don't worry. It'll be a fairly lively presentation, lots of big stories, and also I'll share some of my blunders, because we all learn from mistakes, and hopefully you learn from mine, because I did.
And again, always keeping it real. I appreciate that. All right, Dai, thank you very much, and thank you, everyone. We'll see you guys soon.
Namaste.